Hey, what is up mortals, it is Stelecon here, and I'd like to say that we got a second channel called Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive is a channel based on anime lore. If you're interested in these types of videos, please make sure you click the icon or the description to check out the channel. Before we get into the video, there are a few things I'd like to say. Thank you to our supporters on Patreon. There will be a full list at the end of the video. If you'd like to support us and our content, please go over there and check it out. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. As you can read in the title of this video, the story will be, what if All Might finished All for One once and for all in the fated battle 5 years before the event of My Hero Academia? So, let's get into this by seeing this titanic battle of the symbol of evil facing off against the symbol of peace. This battle that causes the downfall of both, but this plays out differently than what All Might and All for One thought this battle would play out. All for One knew the base he'd been using was discovered by All Might, and he will not hesitate to come if it meant facing off against the man that killed his master. Unlucky for All for One, this base lacked any kind of goons or security to fend off All Might for long enough as he needed to get Shigaraki and Kurogori out of there, so his successor could grow and become stronger. He saw Kurogori wrap Shigaraki away and getting all the supplies they could bring with them before the #1 hero arrives. While his loyal servant does that, he goes to the roof and waits for All Might. All Might hops across the city towards All for One's base and brings this old crime lord to Tartarus at long last. He could see it and saw he was one solid leap away from his destination, when he looks up and saw something that blocks out the sun, and it had large metallic wings, and it was carrying someone.
"We waited a long time to destroy you, All Might," cried the winged person as he drops the guy who was the infamous terrorized name, the multi-bomber who can clone himself, which he uses to bomb places he does not like people or people he does not like, and this guy from 100s of himself with enough explosion to destroy the entire sector of the city. With All Might quick thinking, he uses a Texas smash to push the bombers back as they exploded, hitting the flyer guy as well, knocking two birds with one stone. All Might landed on the street, but from around came the giant bodyguard of All for One, Giantomachia, shouted as he charges, ready to smash All Might. All Might dashes forward to avoid the giant villain's attacks and hit him in the knees. This causes the villain to cry out in pain, before being uppercut to send Giantomachia flying back. All Might never faced a foe who was able to match his strength. Guess he needed to use more of his might. Both charged at each other and slammed their fists, causing a powerful sonic boom from the clash of fists that could be felt across the entire city and the cities around him. Once the dust was clear, Giantomachia was on the floor defeated, and All Might shaking his fist since his hands sting from the clash. But the real fight was ahead of him, as he leaped into the air and lands on top of the building of All for One's base. On the roof was All for One, and he was examining All Might. "I have to say, you took out my best man easier than I thought. You're more impressive than your pathetic master."
His mocking angered All Might, who growled and failed to notice something moving closer towards him.
"I will gladly put you behind bars and make you pay for all the lies on your head."
All for One smirked evilly. "What about the ones on her head?" Mocking Nana, some more clearly getting under All Might's skin, as he prepares to deliver a Texas smash, but was stopped in place. All Might's shadow was connected to All for One's, and it seemed to be causing him to hold in place, and only moving ever so slightly.
"To think this belonged to some perverted man who used it on his victims. He was too small-minded to see the power of his quirk,"
All for One said as he approaches the trap All Might. All Might's blue eyes were burning with hatred for that All for One he haven't seen in decades.
"You know, I'm disappointed. You will die even easier than that worthless woman before you. My brother must be rolling in his grave."
This angered All Might even more as he used more One for All and slowly breaking free. All for One morphed one of his hands into metal before forming it into a blade and prepared to pierce the heroic heart of All Might and killed the symbol of peace. But before his blade can pierce All Might's chest, when he got punched in the face, sent flying across the roof, until he stops using his flying quirk and noticed he had blood escaping his lip, which he had not felt in a really long time. All Might prepares to do his Carolina Smash, but his attack was caught by a shadow-like form of All for One. The shadow headbutts All Might before slamming it into the ground, before hitting him with a barrage of punches on the current user of One for All. All Might uses one powerful punch to obliterate it, and hop up and spike All for One into the ground. He got up and hear hero cheering All Might to beat this thug, him, the symbol of evil, the one ruled Japan longer than most living humans that still walk this earth. He growls as he takes to the air using his gravity quirk. All Might prepare for
one All For One's attacks, and then All For One left arm turned into monstrous with an arm that shoot fire from his elbow to boost the punch's speed, hitting All Might in the face before grabbing All Might and toss him into one of the buildings, All For One floating there before he smashes the building together, forming a sphere and start crushing it more and more, hoping to crush All Might to death. All Might, who was trapped inside the building sphere, started to smash his way through, and after 5 punches, he broke free and had enough time to avoid the large blast of All For One that destroyed an entire street and all the buildings on each side, and then some. The two kept battling, which was wrecking the city through the side effect of their battle, or being used by All For One to slam into All Might. Formed large storms to blast All Might with powerful lightning strikes, until All Might blew the clouds away, lowering the electric power All For One can use. After fighting 2 hours of straight up fighting, they end up in an open field as both are worn out, and it was clear they were in equal might. All For One looks at All Might and smirks, as he slowly charges his next blast, but tries to keep it small so he's not seen, and he smirks at All Might. It seems we're evenly matched, All Might, but the sad truth is I've been toying around this whole time, like I did with your prophetic master, Nana Shimara. And this was too much for All Might, as he cried out, "Enough!" and charged at blinding speed, and failed to see All For One smiling and building up energy in his hand, raising it slowly, taking aim, and All Might coughs blood as All For One's blow a hole in his chest and entrails, and blood came exploding out. All For One smirks as All Might stumbles, holding his wounds, still coughing more blood out. "You're blind by emotions. Take your failure to the grave, and apologize for failing to carry my brother's legacy," All For One said in mocking tone as he prepares to blast All Might to finish him off this time. But his arm was slapped away, causing his blast to miss by the gravely wounded All Might, and getting punched hard in the face, sending him slamming into the ground, before being punched rapidly. All For One was too weak and too slow to block the blows. He was losing consciousness by All Might's punches. All Might ended his beatdown by slamming both fists down on All For One's face, and with sickening cracking, his head broke apart, like he was smashing a watermelon. All Might looked down at what he did with mixed feeling. He felt proud he had finally put an end to the reign of evil, but he did murder him, which is not the way of heroism, or a true hero many people saw him. He would have kept pondering if it didn't collapse, passing out due to blood loss as an ambulance came and took All Might to the hospital, as All For One was dealt with, or left of it, at least. At the same time, Gigantomachia would have escaped, but once he heard his master had died, he broke down, not too sure what to do since his whole purpose was to serve All For One, which made it pretty easy to arrest him, after some hero with quirk to aid the cops to cough him and put anti-quirk collar on him. While All Might was treated in the hospital for his wounds, All For One gave him. Kirogiri was watching over the young teen Shigaraki, who was waiting for news of his master.
Kirogiri, his master, okay?
Showing worry for his master and care for his well-being. Kirogiri was unaware of the death of All For One, but had a bad feeling, so he said to Shigaraki to calm the lad. "I think All For One might be injured from fighting All Might, but he will find a way out of this. I have a feeling." Too bad his feeling will be proven wrong, but his words made Shigaraki calm down, as he thinks how he wants more to destroy All Might. All Might was still in the hospital with Gran Torino. Recovery Girl, Nezu, and Naidi were watching the surgery unfolding, hoping Toshinari stay strong, but it was clear that he would not be back at 100% due to the damage All For One did to him. Naidai sees All Might's future and his gruesome death, but he could not tell who kills him, but now it to be 6 to 7 years in the future. He tried to convince All Might to retire and pick a successor before he dies at the hands of a villain, but All Might decides not to fight fate, but keep doing his role as the symbol of peace. Days pass and Kurogiri is informed by Yujiko that All For One is truly dead, but he got his hands on his body, see what he can do to keep on his Nomu project and get back on working on the high end, since without All For One, his progress on making these mindless drones will greatly slow down. But due far, he got quite a bit to use by the League of Villains. Shigaraki did not take the death of All For One well. In fact, he went out on town, murdering any hero who was unlucky to get in the way of his rampage. Kurogiri was lucky to warp him out before a strong hero could stop him and arrest him, and said to Shigaraki, "Calm down. To honor the Master's wishes, kill All Might and destroy the Hero Society. To do that, you're going to have to fight smarter than using brute force." Shigaraki understood and said,
"I need to grind up our level and get more party members if I want to beat the final boss and wipe the floor while the remaining optional bosses that could get in our way."
Next time, in a world without All For One, we shall see All Might's fated encounter with Izuku Midoriya will play out as Shigaraki starts to form his League of Villains, but having trouble without All For One backing him up, and still being lacking true leadership. Although All Might finish off All For One, he still fears the symbol of evil influence, and a return in a new form, but he is unsure if being period and letting his nightmare haunt him. Find out in the next exciting part of My Hero Academia, what if All For One was killed in his first fight with All Might. Thank you for watching the video to the end. Now, there's a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time, so if you're interested, go into the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Secondly, I'd like to thank our $5 plus Patreon supporters for helping us fund these videos. Lastly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writer for this video as well as the editor for this video. Their details will be in the description. If you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, or you're interested in becoming one of those, go to the Discord that is in the description of this video and hit up the heads of one of those areas. We're always looking for new members to join us. That's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're interested, and hit that like button if you like the video. Until next time, peace out, mortals. Have an amazing day.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through.